right, good morning to you. This is the program Victims Voices. It's a program that looks at the issues surrounding torture in Nigeria and also the world as a globe. My name is Ifeanyi. This program is brought to you every Monday from 9:30 a.m. and it's brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power and also the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims, IRCT. On this week's edition of the program, we're going to be looking at the issue of, just like torture, we're going to be looking at the issue of confessional statements obtained through torture. We're going to be looking at everything that has to do with torture, the cases that we have in the country, and also it is interactive. You can also call it right as our conversation goes on to maybe talk about if you've gone through an incident where you were tortured just so you could confess to something. We'd love to hear from you and also provide solutions to these things. Now, my guest for this morning is the Abia State Coordinator for National Human Rights Commission. I'm talking about Barrister Uche Nwokocha, who is on the line right now. Barrister, good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome to the program, listeners.
All right, good morning. Now, we'll start off from this angle. As the coordinator, the Abia State coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission, I believe you've seen various cases of torture where, persons are tortured by security agents just to get them to confess to crimes. Now, would you say it's something that happens more often in the country, or does it happen less likely in the country?
Good morning, listeners.
Good morning.
I will say that it happens more often than we think. By the way, what is torture? Torture is the action or practice of inflicting severe pain or suffering on someone as punishment in order for the person to force them to do something or say something or sign something. This is the definition by the CAT, that is United Nations Convention Against Torture. Article 1 of it defines torture. The same definition will be found in Anti-Torture Act. This is a Nigerian law of 2017. Then, torture is also prohibited by Section 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then all the administration of criminal justice laws and acts in different sections prohibit torture. Then the law itself, the Evidence Act of Nigeria, that any confession obtained through torture cannot be used by the courts. But then we see torture going on all over by different security agencies, not just the police. They beat, they kick, they force people to, at times, to transfer money, at times to sign things, at times to say certain things. And we've dealt with the victims, and they have horrible stories to tell us. We've dealt with the victims at National Human Rights Commission, and they have horrible stories to tell us.
Can you share some of the stories with us? Some of the cases you've had or that have been brought to your commission?
It's okay. We've had the stories of where 7 young men were disabled. They were arrested and they were being asked questions, and because they were not telling the police what the police wanted to hear, somebody cocked gun and shot them on their legs.
Wow.
Breaking their legs. Came to the commission where, occasionally the commission, we have these panels that sit to talk about torture. And they came to the commission and they said what happened to them. We recorded them, and then we reported to the IGP then, and the policeman involved, because they were able to identify him, the man was dealt with by the IGP.
Now, these stories are quite scary when Nigerians get to hear them, and
because these people survived, some die. We heard them because this crop of people survived, some die.
Now, looking at cases where no security forces or agencies use torture as a means to extract confession from no suspect, can a suspect deny such no confession in court?
Yes, of course, suspects do deny them, and once the suspects deny them, the court will organize what is called in-court trial. They first of all try that confessional statement to decide whether what the suspect said is true, that the confession was obtained through torture. And once it is established that it's obtained through torture, the court will discard the confession. And that is why some of them, at times you hear our security agencies complaining that the court has been bribed and they have freed a known criminal suspect, they have armed robber or kidnapper, they have arrested and prosecuted in court, has been let go.
Does it matter?
Because you find out that everything they have for that prosecution is just on that confession.
Yeah.
And this confession has been said to be obtained through torture.
So it doesn't matter if the person is guilty or actually did that or not, as long as it was the confession was extracted through torture.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that the person will not be tried.
Okay.
The court will do away with the confession. But you see what happens at times, that once the security operatives, once they receive that confession, they don't do anything else. They will just go to court with that confession, believing that the court will convict based on the confession they obtained through torture. So once it is established that the confession was obtained through torture and the court discards it, there's nothing more to go on with.
Okay. Because
they don't have anything else to present before the court apart from that confessional statement.
Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is Victims' Voices, and it is brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action, PRAWA, and also the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims, that's the IRCT, and it comes your way every Monday from 9:30. I'm actually speaking with Barrister Uche Nwokocha, who is the Abia State Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission, and we're looking at issues where security forces have used torture to extract confession from suspects, and it's quite disheartening that this keeps happening. Now, in the first cases we've seen it happen, Barrister, how can citizens report such cases?
You see, the problem we have here is that we don't get enough reports. Every citizen that is tortured is supposed to make a report. If you cannot report to the police, you can report to the National Human Rights Commission.
Okay.
And if you report to the commission, we guide you, will assist you. And again, what happens is that victims of torture is a very terrible thing. It has a very serious traumatic effect on the victim. Some of them have never recovered from it, and they are not likely to recover from it for the rest of their life because of the trauma it causes. Some of them will lose one limb, or lose an eye, or become deaf, or even start behaving abnormal. Because we have one case where the man's brother said that the man was repeatedly hit on the head. After that experience, the man landed in the hospital and he couldn't even remember his name.
Wow.
He couldn't even remember his name.
Wow. Okay. Now,
so people, it's a terrible thing to happen to people. Now, talking about torture. Torture have stages, but they're all torture. If a policeman or a soldier or any of our enforcement agents slaps you and you keep quiet, that person will extract the teeth of another citizen. Slapping you is torture. It's an act of torture.
Okay.
It's an abuse. You should report it. But if he slaps you and rub your cheek and walk away, he will feel that that is the way to do things. You get another person, give the person 2 slaps, the person walks away. You get another person, you put a tooth, the person walks away. Until the unexpected happens. People just pretend as if nothing happened to them. Why they do that, we don't know.
So you're saying that citizens have to play a role in making sure torture comes to an end?
Exactly. Because they are the people that are being tortured. When they keep quiet about it or pretend that it doesn't happen, everybody will say it doesn't happen. But it happens. The most pathetic thing is that at times when you ask them to report it, make an official report, they will say they don't have time, or they don't want more trouble, or this or that. The point is that 90% of torture that happens in Nigeria are not reported officially.
Okay.
They're not reported.
Right. Now, if you're listening right now, you love to contribute to this program. Maybe you have a situation, or you've gone through a case of torture where a security agent has had to torture you just to extract information from you. We are open to listening to you, and also advice on what you can still do to get justice in that case. If you have questions to also ask, the barrister is here to answer you on your question. Numbers to call this morning are 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. The SMS line is also open, so it is 0906-510-8289. Again, the numbers to call 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. We have a call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. May we know your name and where you're calling from?
I am Mrs. Uche.
Okay, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Azikwe by school.
Azikwe, welcome. So, what's your own case?
It's not really me,
Okay.
but my brother.
All right.
On Saturday, he was coming from our house to maybe his working place.
This past Saturday.
Yes.
All right.
And this happened opposite St. Finbar's Catholic Church.
St. Finbar's Catholic Church, opposite St. Finbar's Catholic Church, okay?
Yes. One of the policemen saw him, stopped their keke, then just asked him to give him his phone. And my brother was like, my phone? What do you want to see in my phone? The next thing, the man started dragging the phone and enforced him to give him 15,000 if he don't want him to go to cell. He really handcuffed him.
All right.
So the boy was like, why would you handcuff me? Why would you take me to cell? With that anxiety and fear in him, he now gave the 15,000 to him. I want to know, do a policeman have right to go through your phone?
All right.
Do they have right? Is it their right to go through your phone? And is it their right to work the work that EFCC is supposed to work?
Okay.
I want to just know. That's my question.
All right. Barrister, she's saying that her brother just this past Saturday was opposite St. Finbar's, around the Catholic Church there here in Umuahia, and met police officers on his way, and the police officers asked to see his phone. He refused, and then they had a bit of they had to drag the phone, and the policeman threatened that if he doesn't give 15,000 naira, he would go to jail. And out of fear, the young man had to give the 15,000 naira. She's asking if the police officers have the right to check the phone of a citizen, and if it's their job to do, if they should be doing the job of the EFCC.
The answer to that is no, they don't. Unless where they are investigating the citizen for a specific crime, And for them to do that, they need the order of court. They need the order of court. That is what the law says.
Okay.
What happened to the brother is a very unfortunate incident. That does not mean that that is how the police should operate. The policemen that are doing that, they have removed the toga of the Nigerian police. At that point, they are no longer the Nigerian police. They are just extortionists, or do I call them robbers? Because that thing they are doing is not the reason why they are sent there.
Okay.
Now, this thing that she said now, I hope the brother will come and make a report of it to National Human Rights Commission, so that we report to the Commissioner of Police. It will be easy for the Commissioner of Police, given the time and date happened, to know if it was actually the police that posted them, the policemen that were posted at that place, that possibly did that thing.
Now, what would you advise the young man to do?
The policemen that did that cannot say that at that point they are working for the Nigerian police, because they are not. They have turned themselves into something else. They are doing what the police did not ask them to do.
So what should this young man do? What steps should he take?
The young man can complain to National Human Rights Commission.
Okay.
Can come and give us a report, so that we report to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police, through her office, will find out who did that and what happened there. But then the people will not report. They will tell you they don't want more problems. I bet you he will not come to report.
Would you classify that as torture?
No.
Okay.
Torture has an aim.
All right.
Torture has an aim. And usually the aim of torture is to get information, or to get somebody to sign something, or to get a confession.
All right.
This is not torture. This is a clear case armed robbery.
All right. Okay.
Because at that point, those policemen are doing that. They are no longer working for the Nigerian police. They've changed themselves into something else.
All right.
And once you give that report to the police will deal with them.
Okay, let's go to the next call.
Will the young man come up?
That's an issue. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm doing very well. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Honorable Chief Chris Nwokocha, and I'm flowing from Obizi in Ezinitembise local government area of Imo State.
All right, welcome. Did you have a question or do you have a complaint to make?
Oh yeah, I just have a question to ask the barrister.
Go on.
While I appreciate the fact that torture is not good, but in the case of hardened criminals, you know, when you catch them, when police catch them, and they would not be prepared to give correct information, if they are not tortured, how will police get proper information regarding to the offense they committed? Because just like somebody stole a motorcycle now, and is being caught by a policeman, and then through the investigation, the police may want to know who is the buyer of this.
Okay, all right. We got your question.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
if they are not tortured,
his voice is
they will not
muffled
give-
most of the time.
All right. He's saying, since he admits that torture is wrong, but he's asking, in a situation where the police or security agents are dealing with a hardened criminal and who doesn't want to give information on what has happened, that what other means can they use to get information from such suspects?
They are trained officers. They can investigate. They have to have cracked cases that people think are impossible because of their dedication and their investigation. They want to sit on the road and collect money from people. A well-trained police officer can investigate.
Okay. Instead of using torture.
Any sort of crimes through their investigation.
Okay.
They feel that it's easier for them to kick people, slap people, bomb people and then get a confession, write something and place before somebody to sign. The person will sign it and take it to court. Once the person says it's obtained under torture, here goes. Okay. And tomorrow, all their efforts would have wasted because the court will release the person.
We're almost out of time. But I want to ask this question. Do you think the human rights desk of security agencies are living up to the responsibility?
My answer to that is yes and no.
Okay.
I say yes in some instances because we've had them coming out, to voice out their opinion about some of the problems that is going on in the places where they are. Then I will say no, because of this their thing of esprit de corps. They will not like to come out, and most of the time they will not like to come out and give evidence against their colleagues. That's why I said yes and no. At times, very rare occasion, they really come out. We've had one of them come out to testify what a fellow officer did to somebody.
Okay.
And how he assisted, to rescue the person.
So I want to ask, because of time, how can we remedy the situation?
It rarely happens.
Okay, it rarely happens.
Yes.
So how can we remedy this?
But it does happen.
How can we remedy the situation of torture for conventional statements?
The only way we can remedy it is for people that are victims to make official complaints. It is not something you go to your church to give a testimony and people will say thank God. You have to make official complaint. You have to complain to the National Human Rights Commission. You have to complain to the police. The police now, they have their phone numbers, their addresses. There is now their desk that are supposed to handle these matters. You have to complain. And most importantly, such a victim should seek medical advice, should go to the doctors and tell the doctors what happened to him, because he may feel that he has survived it, that is nothing. And then he discovered that for years he will not be able to sleep in the night. Anytime he closes his eyes, he has that image of that thing that happened to him coming onto him. He needs medical treatment in order to live a proper life. Torture is a terrible thing.
Barrister, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're out of time. I wish we could keep talking about this because the ton of persons who are calling the phone lines are seeking to ask questions. But before I let you go, how can they get across to the National Human Rights Commission?
All right. They can visit our office at number 9 Item Street by Calabar Road, Umuahia. Number 9 Item Street by Calabar Road, Umuahia.
Okay.
Or they can call our office number 0902 442 5728. 0902 442 5728.
All right. Anyways, thank you very much, Barrister Uche Nwokocha, who is the Administrative Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission. We're looking at the issue, the state situation of torture and conventional statement, which a lot of our security agents use a lot when it comes to trying to extract information from suspects. This program is going to come your way again next week, Monday, God willing, by 9:30. And don't forget, it is brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power, and also it is brought to you by the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims. My name is still Ifeanyi Awa. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Coming up next is Inside the Abia, and after that, The Platform with Michael Oni. Do stay tuned.